Welcome to the third episode of The Ripper's Gambit, where we explore the most fascinating and shocking suspects in the Jack the Ripper case. I'm your host, Tammy D, and in this episode, we'll dive into the life and crimes of one of the most notorious serial killers in French history, Joseph Vacher, the French Ripper. What makes a person become a monster? Joseph Vacher was born on November 16, 1869, in Vacher, France, into a modest family. However, his upbringing was far from idyllic. Vacher suffered from mental health issues from a young age, exhibiting erratic behaviour and displaying signs of violence. He was abused by his father, bullied by his peers, and rejected by his first love. These traumatic experiences would foreshadow the bloodshed he would later unleash. Vacher's murderous spree began in 1894 when he attacked a young woman named Louise Barrent, mutilating her body and leaving her for dead. His sadistic urge to kill and disfigure seemed insatiable. Over the following years, he continued to prey on vulnerable victims, often targeting lone shepherds and young girls. He killed at least 11 people and possibly many more across different regions of France. He used a knife, a revolver, or his bare hands to slash, stab, shoot, or strangle his victims and then mutilated their corpses, often removing their genitals or organs. He usually attacked in broad daylight and sometimes left notes or messages on the bodies, taunting the authorities or expressing his remorse. The sheer brutality of Vacher's crimes sent shockwaves throughout rural France. The authorities struggled to understand the mind of a killer who seemed to derive pleasure from his heinous acts. They faced many challenges and obstacles in trying to catch him, such as the lack of forensic evidence, the poor communication and coordination between different regions, and the public pressure and panic. They followed many leads and clues, but none of them led to the culprit. It took years before his reign of terror came to an end. In 1897, Vacher's luck finally ran out when he was apprehended after trying to murder yet another victim, a teenage boy named Alexandre Portier. He was caught red-handed by a group of farm workers who subdued him and handed him over to the police. During his trial, Vacher's mental instability was clear, leading some to question his culpability. He claimed that he was possessed by a demon, that he heard voices in his head, and that he was driven by an irresistible impulse to kill. He also confessed to all his crimes and gave graphic details of his methods and motives. Nevertheless, he was considered sane enough to stand trial and was convicted of multiple counts of murder. On December 31, 1898, Joseph Vacher met his fate. Standing before a firing squad, he faced the ultimate consequence for his crimes. His demise brought closure to the families of his victims, but the scars he left behind still lingers in the collective memory of France. Joseph Vacher remains a chilling figure in the annals of true crime. His crimes showcased the darkest aspects of human nature and the depths to which one person can descend. As we strive to understand the minds of infamous criminals, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance and empathy in preventing such horrors from ever happening again. This concludes our exploration of Joseph Vacher, a name forever etched in history for all the wrong reasons. But before we go, there is one more detail that will shock you. According to some sources, Vacher may have had a connection to another famous serial killer, H. Holmes, the American Ripper. Could they have been partners in crime or rivals in evil? Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll investigate this intriguing possibility. What do you think of Joseph Vacher's story? Do you believe he was insane, or evil, or both? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. This is Tammy D, signing off.